Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be explaining to you labor turnover in the Unit 2.1 of IB Business Management. So this is just a table of content for the whole unit that I will be covering in my next videos. So the labor turnover, it measures the rate of change of human resources or staff in an organization per period of time. And usually this period of time is a year, especially in the IB. So what you will need for the labor turnover are two things: the exact number of employees leaving per time period or per year, and the average number of staff in the business or like in the same business. So the formula for this is the number of employees leaving in a year divided by the average number of people employed or average number of staff employed uh, at the end, and then at the end times 100 to basically bring it up to a percentage number. As for this formula, you will need a percentage number. It's important to keep in mind that you will have to memorize this formula because it is not in the formula booklet of the IB. So a labor turnover example would be 13 employees left the business last year, where the average number of staff employed was 65. So what is the labor turnover here? You can just think about it fast in your head. You should know it by now. So basically, it's just the number of employees leaving per year, or in this example, 13, divided by average number of staff employed, and in this case, 65. And this will give you the answer of 0.2. And then do not forget to times this by 100, which will give you the percentage number. And in this case, it's 20%. So the labor turnover in this particular example is 20%. Pretty simple, no? So potential causes, I've just written down three. It's important to know these. A potential cause for a high labor turnover is that other firms offer better working conditions and better salaries and wages. There's the workers will see opportunity in a better work environment and better financial rewards in other organizations, so they will leave the current organization. Another potential cause is unhappy workforce, and this may be due to a lot of factors such as management or business environment, organizational culture, and so on and so on. And then the third example is that employees are not appropriately trained and may feel demotivated and incompetent. And this also has to do a bit with this Maslow hierarchy of needs that they do not feel they get demotivated because they are not appropriately trained. And this will also be coming up in one of the next videos where I'll be talking about training. So please look after these videos. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of high labor turnover. The disadvantages are here on the left, and the advantages of high labor turnover are on the right. So the first disadvantage would be that recruitment, selection, and training of new staff is very costly. This whole process of going out and getting new employees because other employees left the business can be very costly in the HR department. A second disadvantage would be that the output level and customer service may be poor as new recruits are not appointed yet. That means that if let's say in an organization the employees leave for some reason, and then you'll have to cover this post or this job with another employee because you still do not have the appropriate recruitment of a new employee. So you'll need to cover it somehow by an temporary employee or by already current employee doing that job too, which will of course it won't be at the same level as it was before or as it is expected. Another disadvantage would be that it is difficult to build up a loyalty and personal contact with customers. For example, if you go to the grocery store in your local grocery store and there's always a different person at the counter, there won't be any build up to the personal relationship and to the loyalty with customers, as you will not feel familiar with the employee. And the last disadvantage would be the establishment of a stable work group and team spirit is difficult. I think that's self-explanatory, really. Now, advantages of a labor turnover, which is also pretty important to keep in mind, as sometimes they are very sneaky in the IB exams and like to ask these questions about what are the benefits of high labor turnover. The first benefit would be the replacement of older workers with more skillful and productive staff, um, by doing more careful recruitment and selection process. What I mean by older workers is not old workers in particular, but just the workers that have left the business, and they can now be pretty much the next recruitment can do a better job at the selection and therefore get more skillful and productive staff. The second benefit would be that there are new perspective, practices, and ideas that are being brought into the business. This is a benefit that will always get you points in the IB. So please keep this in mind. It brings in new ideas. The last benefit would be that it might be a positive factor or a benefit for an organization that wants to reduce staff anyways. And this ties in with all the costs of redundancy of workers, or all the legal troubles of going through dismissals of workers, which we'll be covering also later in this unit. But in this case, if an organization already wants to reduce the staff number, but then these staffs are already leaving due to the high labor turnover, you'll always have staff leaving. This means that there are not these additional troubles that the business has to go through financially, but also, time. Um, yeah. So that's it for this topic. Thank you for watching, and please keep up with my videos so you'll revise your business topics more.